Hey guys, Justice here again, and this short video that I want to share with you today is gonna sort of in essence be an interactive one, hopefully. This would probably be best like in a webinar setting or something like that where you guys could actually interact from the chat. However, I'm gonna try and display it and explain it in the best way I can in order for you to grasp it over there where you are in your house right now, be able to do it for yourself, and not only for yourself, to kind of just take in the idea and the concept of how it's done, because a lot of it is up for interpretation, of course, personal interpretation, and we can kind of jump to certain conclusions and what they kind of mean in our lives present day, or because of things that have happened to us that we've kind of like left behind and kind of dug down deep in us without really resolving in our lives. And you can do this for others as well, people close to you. But in advance, I'd like to say, please, and this is kind of a warning for you, please, if you're going to practice this on somebody else, do not pass judgment. Do not go in it with thinking I'm going to figure this person out, and I want to see what they're all, what they're made of. And no, none of that. We're going into this with an open mind. And like I said, no passing judgment either on yourself or on others. So what you're going to need for this kind of psychology exercise now is just a piece of paper, a pencil, or a pen. And you can fold this paper in 4 halves. So it's either horizontally and then vertically, or you can trace a line down the paper and then trace it across, making 4 equal parts or sections. Now, I thought of bringing somebody to do this with and show you directly through here, but I didn't want to kind of expose anybody and their own privacy be put out there. So for anybody taking this little test right now and at the end wanting to discuss it with me and having me help them out with the interpretation of it, you're welcome to do so through message, and maybe later we could Skype or something for a short amount of time. So first things first, on the first section of paper, I'm going to have to draw it out myself here as well. Let me just say, this is my paper, and I'm going to fold it in half, making my 4 sections as well. You're going to think about, if you, and this is kind of harsh, but if you passed away today and you were given the opportunity of reincarnation, think of an animal, and just an animal, that you would envision yourself coming back as. The only one you can think of that you would say, yes, this animal's perfect for me. I would love to come back and live as this animal. When you think of that animal, I want you to put it on the first section on the top left-hand side, right here. Top left-hand side. Write it down, and now this is the part where it gets really not interesting. It does because of the outcome, but of course it's very essential for you to do this part as best as you can, and I'm going to give you some time for that. You're going to have to think of all the reasons why you would come back as this animal, all the adjectives you can think of, all the reasons in essence why you say, yes, this is exactly why I would want to live. Is it smart? Is it pretty? Does it have capabilities? What capabilities does it have? Does it fly? What about it makes you so interested in coming back as it? And think of all the reasons you can write down. And please, in order for this to be assessed in its best way, I need you to write down each and every reason you can think of. Not superficially 3 reasons. It flies, it's pretty, and it's smart. No. Think of every little detail. Write it down. Go ahead. I'll give you some time for that. The more the better. If you're doing this right now, you can also put this on pause and write them down. Assuming you've finished and you're coming back from the pause, on the second side next to where you wrote down the animal you would like to come back as and all the reasons, so it would be the right square next to the left one on the top, I want for you to write the animal that you would absolutely hate coming back as. And think of it really good. Take your moment to think about it, because the more reasons you express, the better, like I said. So take your moment to think of that animal, write it down, and like you did the first section, write down all the reasons why you would not want to come back to Earth as that animal. Be very precise. It's necessary. I'll give you some time. You could put this on pause if you like. Isn't it cute? There's a little cat. Okay. Now, below the first section where you put the animal you want to come back as, for each of the reasons that you put down, or the adjectives explaining, defining why you would want to come down as, on the bottom section below that, you're going to write an antonym, or the opposite of each reason. So if you said it's tall, put it's short. If it says it flies, it stays in its place. If it's smart, it's stupid. If it's beautiful, it's ugly. You know, for each of those reasons, write down the antonyms, or the opposite, in the below box. I'll give you some time for that. You can pause it as well. This, of course, face-to-face with somebody might take some time, because not everybody would, think of something as quickly, but that's why you can pause it. Okay. Assuming you've got that down already, in the box next to it on the right hand side below the second box on the top, you're going to do exactly the same for the one that you would not want to come back as. So if you put it's ugly, put it's pretty. If you put it's disgusting, it's pleasant. Same exact thing for the next box. And I'll give you some time for that as well. Okay. I hope you finished that section in particular. Now, what does this test mean for us? At a very unconscious level, the things we aspire to be in life are those that complement us. So in essence, we might carry some of the attributes of the things we want to be, but most of the time it's what we're lacking. And most of the things that we kind of turn against and say, I don't want to be that, it's because you've already progressed in those areas, and you're not likely to be a copy of what you're not wanting to come back as. So let's say the animal that you say that you want to come back as, let's go to the section below it, and whatever reasons you put there, or antonyms you put there, those are your insecurities, sorry to say. And the animal that you didn't want to come back as, and the reasons you stated below, those are actually your strengths. Now go over those strengths and look. It could be, it says beautiful. So in essence, there's a part of you that considers yourself beautiful, or you're just confident and you are. There's so many reasons you could have stated there, but each and every one of those reasons gives you insight to your strengths. If you put clean, let's leave this to interpretation. You care about your physical aspect, about your demeanor, about how you present yourself to people. So you kind of see how you can play with interpreting these things that you've written down. Did you put maybe it was disgusting? Then you want to be pleasant for people. You want to be liked, and you're a likable person. These are part of your strengths. If you put, I don't know what reasons and what animal you chose in particular, that's why it's up for interpretation with me. If I can see it, or if you can state them to me, I can give you more accurate answers. But just know the right column, the right-hand side below, are actually your current strengths and how you see yourself. So all those words described there are you right now and how you present yourself to people, which is great because I hope you have a long list. On the left-hand side, however, for the insecurities and the things you still have to work with, some of these are not necessarily on the surface right now. A lot of people have kind of, gone full force against the things that they don't like about themselves and have made changes here and there, but there are still things holding them back in their lives, and they don't know exactly what it is about them that still makes them feel kind of down, depressed, and whatnot. And so these are specific insecurities you might be having right now in your life. From the people I've been able to test this on, most have put, let's say, an animal that flies. So they say this animal flies, and I love it because it's able to go different places. Does that mean that you in your current life feel stuck? Does it mean that you'd like to travel more and you're not being able to get out? Does it mean that you put freedom, let's say, and does it mean that you feel like you don't have the liberty that you want right now? That could be an expression, that could be by mobility, that can be because of recourses, not being able to travel. I mean, what does that mean to you? It's stated there as a word. Now we have to interpret it. Some people put ugly, and they say, well, I don't see myself necessarily as ugly right now, but you probably do still have issues where you might compare yourself with people who you think are more attractive to you. You still have maybe insecurities about, I don't know what you put there. You put something as beautiful, so that could be the contrary, of course. You might have put it's strong, and you kind of feel in your character you have weaknesses. We all do. Hopefully you describe the animal enough, and there are more adjectives that we can pick up from and kind of interpret. So you more or less see where I'm coming from and what this would involve. So sit with yourself and analyze your answers. If you need help with any one of them, you can contact me and I can probably Skype with you and get these clear. Otherwise, I hope you've learned something and grasped some insight for yourself. Like I said, you can do this on other people as well, loved ones close to you. If you have a hard time understanding your significant other or your children, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to use this at a particular level of understanding, because at a subconscious level, we all say things that we would like in our lives and not like, and there's so few people in life that actually understand these things. Well, this little test right here helps you to understand yourself and others. But like I mentioned, warning, do not use it to judge people or say, I knew so, this person thought this way about themselves, or he or she's a fake because they act a certain way. Well, everybody has things they could better in their lives. And this is a self-assessment test to see where you might need help in your life. So if you see somebody else needs help in their life, in a gentle way, we can change and help people to change. So I hope you've liked it and enjoyed it. I'm sorry I don't have the best of quality right now for my recording. I'm using my webcam. But any questions? Feel free to ask. And thank you for watching this video.